Look, let me paint a picture. It's payday. Your paycheck hits your account. For like 5 minutes, you feel good. You make six figures. You did what you were supposed to do, and then the mortgage auto drafts, the car payment hits, student loans, credit card balance, groceries somehow cost $247 for a bag of food that won't last the week. You check your account again and think, wait, where did it go? And this is the part nobody wants to admit out loud. You make $100,000 a year, but you still feel broke. If that made you uncomfortable, yeah, that's because it's real. And if you've ever thought, am I bad with money? Or is something broken here? Here's the thing. It's not just you. My name is John, and I spend way too much time thinking about money, income, and why high earners still feel financially trapped. If you're someone who makes good money but still feels like you're barely staying ahead, like no matter how much you earn, it never seems to be enough, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Because today we're breaking down exactly why $100,000 a year, a number that used to mean you've made it, now feels like survival mode for millions of Americans, and more importantly, what you can actually do about it. The big myth, $100,000 means you're rich. Let's challenge a big assumption right away. For decades, we were told, hit six figures. Once you make $100,000, money stress goes away. That's the finish line. But here's what most people don't realize. That number hasn't meant the same thing for a long time. Adjusted for inflation, $100,000 today has roughly the purchasing power of about $60,000 in the year 2000, according to U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics data. So when people say, my parents raised a family on way less than this, they're not wrong. They were playing a different game. The math nobody talks about. Let's actually break this down with real numbers. $100,000 salary, what you really take home. Depending on where you live, a $100,000 salary typically turns into federal taxes, state taxes in most states, Social Security, Medicare, health insurance, retirement contributions if you're responsible. After all of that, most people take home around $5,500 to $6,000 per month. That's it. Now watch what happens next. Fixed costs eat first. Let's say you live in a normal metro area, not New York, not San Francisco. Rent or mortgage, $2,200. Car payment, $600. Car insurance plus gas, $300. Student loans, $400. Utilities plus internet plus phone, $350. Health insurance premiums and out-of-pocket, $300 we haven't eaten yet. We haven't saved. We haven't lived. That's already $4,450. Now add groceries, $700. Eating out/convenience spending, $400. Subscriptions, kids' stuff, random expenses, $300. You're now at $5,850. And suddenly, that $100,000 salary feels extremely small. This is where it gets really interesting. Because mathematically, you're not bad with money. You're just trapped in a high-cost structure. Here's the analogy. It's like trying to fill a bucket, but the bucket has holes. You don't have an income problem. You have a cost of life problem. And here's what makes this dangerous. The psychology of six-figure broke. Humans don't experience money objectively. We experience it relatively. When you start making more, your environment changes, your peer group changes, your normal expenses quietly rise. This is called lifestyle creep, but that term is too soft. What's really happening is expectation inflation. You don't upgrade because you're reckless. You upgrade because better neighborhoods feel safer, reliable cars feel responsible, nice groceries feel healthy, convenience feels necessary, and slowly, your entire income becomes spoken for. Now you might be thinking, okay, John, but $100,000 is still a lot of money compared to most people. You're right, and that's exactly why this problem is so psychologically brutal. Because when you're struggling at $40,000, society says, yeah, that makes sense. But when you're struggling at $100,000, you feel shame. You think, I shouldn't feel this stressed. I'm supposed to be grateful. I must be doing something wrong. That shame keeps people stuck. Here's what most people don't realize. The biggest financial pressure at $100,000 isn't poverty, it's fragility. Most six-figure earners are one layoff away from panic, one medical issue away from debt, one recession away from unraveling. According to Federal Reserve data, nearly 40% of Americans earning over $100,000 say they would struggle to cover a $1,000 emergency without borrowing. That's not a spending issue, that's a system design issue. Why $100,000 is the most dangerous income level? This income range is uniquely risky. Why? Because you earn too much for assistance, you earn too little for true financial margin. You're expected to have it together. So instead of cutting costs, people finance stress, normalize debt, delay investing, ignore the long-term picture. They look successful, but feel exhausted. Story time, realistic scenario. I once talked to someone, we'll call him Mike. Mike made $110,000 a year. Good job, solid career. But he had 2 car payments, a house he stretched for, childcare costs, no emergency fund, credit card balances creeping up. On paper, he looked rich. In reality, he was working to maintain an image of stability. That's not wealth. That's a treadmill. The real problem is not income. Say this with me, income does not equal security. Security comes from low fixed costs, high flexibility, cash reserves, ownership, not obligations. Most people making $100,000 accidentally build the opposite. Actionable step number 1, calculate your freedom number. Forget $100,000. Here's a better question. How much do I actually need to feel calm? Add up housing, food, transportation, insurance, minimum debt payments. That number is your baseline survival cost. If your take-home income is only slightly above that, you're not safe, no matter how impressive the salary sounds. Actionable step number 2, cap your fixed costs. Here's a rule most people ignore. Fixed costs should not exceed 50 to 55% of your take-home pay. If they do, your income will always feel tight. That means housing decisions matter more than income. Cars matter more than vacations. Subscriptions matter more than lattes. Boring decisions build freedom. Actionable step number 3, separate status from safety. This one's uncomfortable. Ask yourself, am I paying for convenience or validation? A safer car is smart. A luxury trim might be ego. A solid neighborhood is wise. A stretched mortgage is dangerous. There's nothing wrong with wanting nice things. Just don't sacrifice resilience for appearances. Actionable step number 4, build a buffer before you invest aggressively. Here's what most finance advice gets wrong. Before maxing out every investment account, you need 6 to 12 months of expenses in cash. Not because returns are bad, but because panic is expensive. A buffer turns layoffs into inconveniences, not disasters. This is where it all clicks together. $100,000 feels broke because inflation quietly erased its power, fixed costs scaled faster than income, social expectations rose, safety wasn't built early, and nobody warned you you didn't fail. You were handed outdated advice. The reframe that changes everything. Stop asking, how do I earn more? Start asking, how do I need less to feel secure? That shift is the difference between chasing raises forever and actually winning the money game. Look, you don't need to double your income to feel wealthy. You need margin, control, breathing room, and the good news? If you make $100,000 and feel broke, you're closer than you think. You just need to redesign the system. If this video made you rethink how you see your income, hit the like button. It tells YouTube to show this to more people who need to hear it. Subscribe if you want clear, honest conversations about money without the fluff or fake motivation. And tell me in the comments, do you think $100,000 still feels like making it? Or has the goalpost completely moved? I'll see you in the next one.